Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. We just got home from a month-long camping trip. As we were putting away our gear and cleaning up the yard, we found out that our yard was being returned to its wild state. Find out what moved in and what we did about it. So, after we returned home from about a month's worth of camping, just got home from Charleston Lake a week ago, I have to show you what we came across, because it's sort of a difficult situation of what could happen in your backyard when you leave it deserted and nice and quiet for a period of about a month. It's like nature takes over, in this case, animals. So I'm going to show you what I mean. We're in the process right now of waiting for a person from the city to come here and help us with this situation. We have our rain barrel, and tarped is our wood pile. When we arrived home and we took on the monumental task of doing the yard work after lots of rain and lots of warm weather, what ended up happening is we have a canoe that's located by our deck, and it was covered in a tarp. In removing that tarp, it had sun rot, and it was something we wanted to dress up the yard a little bit better because we had a bonfire here with some friends just 3 nights ago. In taking that tarp off the canoe, Shannon happened to notice that there was a kitten that was on the grass moving around, not yet able to walk. Its eyes were open, its ears were open, and anyway, that's what led us to the full discovery, because then we unfolded the tarp that we were peeling off the canoe, and we found 3 more siblings. So we do have, they actually did not enjoy that location, even though we put them in a nice comfortable carton. And that's because it's located by our air conditioner. So the mother moved them one by one to this wood pile. So they're under the tarp, under the bottom shelf of the wood pile, and underneath them is concrete. So it's actually a perfect location because we've had, 30+ degree weather pretty well ever since we got home. And so it keeps her cool. She's a black cat. Her kittens are dark colored. And so it keeps everybody a little bit cooler, and they're under the tarp, so they're pretty weather-worthy that way. And we're now waiting for the person from the city to come, and she is going to bring with her a live trap. The live trap is what will catch the mother as the mother makes her way back to the young. At this time, I can see what's going on in her den because I put in like a baby monitor camera. And so I've been watching, and it's been an extremely fascinating experience to watch how attentive and how good this mother is at nurturing her young. So we've had a chance to watch that for about the last 8 days. Today is Tuesday, the time of this recording. So I'm going to show you, although you'll have a better image shortly, this is how I keep tabs on how things are going in the kitten den. When the mother returns, she slides in here. To keep track of her comings and goings, I've also set up a trail cam on the outside so I can see when she's coming and going. So as I say, it's been a fascinating experience for us to be able to observe the mother's behavior and the young. Oh my gosh, when they know it's their mother, and that's why I didn't want to just creep up to the tarp, because if I did, they'd think it's mama coming home. I wanted them to hear my voice, and then they know, oh yeah, that's that person I think that lives around here. And so what happens is the mother comes back to her den and they erupt in a chorus of meowing. So it's actually really heartwarming to hear that. So you may be wondering why we're getting the city involved. And the reason we want to do that is because they will bring a live trap, they'll trap the mother, and they'll put a stop to the process of giving birth to her young throughout the neighborhood, where these will just be feral cats, okay? The mother was owned by somebody at some point because she's not terrified of me. She just simply sort of tolerates me and knows that, okay, she associates me with putting out cat food, but we want her to get spayed. Ultimately, because we will be turning them over to the animal care and control, they have, their outcome is 100% is the goal, to be able to rehome and allow the animals to live on without being euthanized. The reason their percentage, because I looked at their stats before I made the phone call, their stats are 96%, and that's because sometimes animals that are turned over to them are dogs that have severe behavioral problems, so they will bite or attack, or it might be a very badly hurt or diseased animal, dog or cat, and that's where they will have to euthanize those. But as for the majority, like these healthy young 4 kittens and their mother, the mother looks like she's in such great shape. She's probably, you know, within a couple of years of age. But we have to stop the cycle of allowing animals to give birth and populating a neighborhood. This isn't where you would normally expect to find a wild cat. And I know there are places where people drop them off, and of course that's absolutely the wrong move. Here's the reason. They are not native to this area. That is not something where they can easily adapt to the community in which they are, you know, dropped into. Yesterday, I saw her dart. I saw on the baby cam, I saw her dart out from her home and stop right there in front of that shed. There's patios, there's bricks. And the reason she did that is she caught a chipmunk like that and killed it immediately. Okay, I took my binoculars, I could see from my home office what it was. I didn't know what it was right away. She then went behind our cabin, was there for a period of time, and then she ended up over in this garden. Do you know what's left? She ate everything but the tail. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a gory scene. I know I've seen it when I've brought you out on hiking trails. She ate everything. I was surprised. So anyway, this is why we want to put a stop to this. We normally have a beautiful water feature we love putting up in our yard when we're home from our travels, when we're camping. And there's no way I was going to put that out because it would go in the garden opposite this privacy fence at the back end of the deck. And I didn't want things that were right within reach of her or her kittens that they can catch. Like, it's as if drawing birds and other animals in so that they can be caught just outside their den. So I don't really want this to be a killing zone. I know that it happens in nature, and I understand that. I eat meat. Shannon eats meat. So the thing is, we understand the cycle of life, but we don't necessarily want to have feral cats living in our yard, you know, engaging in that. And anyway, so this is where we're turning it over, and we want it to be handled as humanely as possible, where they are then adopted out to a loving family. Miley would probably eat this black cat or her young. So we don't want to risk that. And we're happy with having one cat. Miley's kind of territorial and jealous. We know that from when we've come home from a friend's place and have the odor of a cat on our on our clothing. We don't get a very warm welcome, and we don't want it to turn into a behavioral problem for Miley, like, you know, where they urinate on certain things in order to show you their displeasure. So we're going to keep everything as it is. We're happy with one cat. So now we want to make 5 other families happy. There was one in there that was hissing. Okay.
They're so cute. I would guess probably 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Ish.
Because last week, they couldn't move.
Right. They just recently opened their eyes and stuff.
Their eyes were open.
Okay.
So what we saw is that they just laid on the grass when they came out of the tarp. And so here we are 8 days later. And
yeah, I
now
would
they've
say
been
close
crawling
to
around.
3.
They've been crawling around for probably about 5 days.
Okay.
Like over the wood in the wood pile and that. But they fall. They fall right back.
Yeah, they're not very sturdy.
They don't have the coordination yet.
Yeah. That would definitely indicate younger. It's definitely just those eyes and those ears that are the big telltale sign. So all of them have those big bright blue eyes when they're born. And then they go away at about, I think, 6 to 7, 8-ish weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, my guess would be about 3 weeks.
Okay,
Right,
thanks for taking care of things.
Of course, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. So there's no other way of putting this. Yeah, because I feel like a traitor, right? The mother was feeling safe and secure. She was very, very stressed out when the live trap caught her. And it's all in the name of being a good mom. She just wanted to get to the babies. And so I'm not as concerned about the youngsters. I think the kittens will be adopted because they're young and they can grow to become accustomed to people and things like that. I don't know the mother's history. I don't know if somebody just got her when she was a kitten and then moved, let her sort of run free, decided they didn't want the expense of having a pet. So this is the downside to having a pet when you're not ready for it. It's very unlikely that somebody kept her, loved her, and she chose to be wild instead. So anyway, that is the process, but this is the responsible way of doing it, where you don't just let them continue to build a colony of feral cats in a community. And I know there's wildlife that's at risk, which is something I don't want to have happen in my yard. I want my yard to be seen as a bit of a sanctuary, and I know that wildlife eats other wildlife in many forms. But anyway, I just wanted to be able to show you the process of what it looks like when you have a feral or a homeless cat in your neighborhood, and what I would deem to be the responsible or the right way to handle it. I know there's other folks that would say, get her spayed and then release her to the wild. And that may in fact happen. And that's what Edie, the young woman who came to take care of this situation, indicated, that if she is not able to settle down, if the mother is not able to settle down and become acclimatized to human touch and human company, then it might be that she'll be released within a kilometer of this area. And I would be absolutely fine with that, because she will be, I know, have her wild tendencies, catch more chipmunks, birds, things of that nature, and I don't like that part, but she was a lovely cat and just an amazing, amazing mom. So anyway, I wanted to wrap up today's video with that, so thanks for joining me.